After a loved one passes, there are so many things that have to be taken care of, legal steps that need to be taken. One of those crucial steps may be something that is called a date of death appraisal. Have you ever wondered how real estate is valued when settling an estate? Whether you're handling probate, trust administration, or just preparing for the future, knowing the value of a property at a specific point in time can be crucial. And today we're breaking down everything you need to know about date of death appraisals, what they are, why they matter, and how they can impact estate planning and taxes. Stay with me because this information can save you time, stress, and even money. And if you're going through the probate process, you may want to download my guide to probate real estate. It's packed with tips to help you navigate the process, from navigating the legal process to preparing a property for sale and everything in between. You'll find the info above my head or in the description box below where you can download your copy. A date of death appraisal is an official valuation of a property, real estate specifically, as of a past date, usually the date the owner passed away. It's used to determine the fair market value of the home at that exact time. And this valuation is required for several reasons, especially if the estate is going through probate and even if it's being handled through a trust. Date of death appraisals fall into a category called historical or retrospective appraisals. Unlike current market value appraisal, which determines the value of a property today, or a future value appraisal, which estimates the potential value based on improvements or market trends, a date of death appraisal looks back to establish the property's value at a specific moment in time. This is important for probate estate distribution and even tax planning purposes. If you're working with an attorney, they'll likely guide you through this process. In a probate situation, the court will typically assign a probate referee to handle the appraisal. For a trust, a trustee may work with an independent appraiser to get the valuation completed. Either way, having an accurate date of death appraisal is critical for a number of legal, financial, and tax-related reasons. First, for legal compliance. For probate, the courts require a date of death appraisal to verify the value of the property. And this helps determine if the estate's sales price is within an acceptable range under probate laws. For example, there's something called the 90% rule, which means that the property must sell for at least 90% of its appraised value to avoid any further court intervention. Let's say that the home is appraised at $1 million. To meet that 90% rule, it would need to sell for at least $900,000. Second is for tax purposes. A date of death appraisal establishes the stepped up basis for the property. This means the value of the home as of the date of death becomes the new basis for calculating capital gains when the property is sold. As an example, if the owner originally purchased the home decades ago for $50,000, but its current value is $550,000, the stepped up basis allows you to avoid paying taxes on that $500,000 increase in value. And without the appraisal, you could face significant tax implications. And third is clarity for heirs. Families often have different perceptions of what a property is worth, and having a professional valuation eliminates guesswork and helps prevent disputes among heirs. When everyone understands the fair market value, it's easier to navigate decisions about selling the property or distributing assets. In a probate case, the referee assigned by the court will typically handle the appraisal. However, it's important to note that many probate referees don't actually visit the inside of the home. They often assess the property's value based on public records, comparable sales, and possibly a drive-by inspection. And while this can speed up the process, it's not always accurate, especially if the property's condition has deteriorated or if there are unique factors that could affect its value. For trust administration, the appraisal process might be a little more detailed, with the appraiser physically inspecting the property inside and out. Either way, it's going to be essential for you to have a clear and accurate valuation to ensure that the estate's affairs are handled properly. And here's why timing matters. The sooner you can obtain a date of death appraisal, the better. matter. Market conditions can change quickly, and the data available for comparable properties may become less accurate over time. For instance, if the property owner passed away 6 months ago, the market conditions then might be very different from what they are today. And an early appraisal ensures that the value is based on data that reflects the market as it was at the time of passing. Now, there are some challenges that can come up. Sometimes the initial appraisal may not reflect the true condition of the home. For example, if the appraiser doesn't go inside and there's significant damage, the valuation might be too high. I've seen cases where a home looked fine from the outside, but once we stepped inside, we found severe issues like water damage or structural problems. And in these situations, we've had to go back to the probate referee with photos and documentation to request a reassessment of the value. And it's also worth noting that the probate process can take time, and obtaining the official appraisal can sometimes take months. And this delay can be super frustrating, especially if you're trying to sell the property and move forward with the estate administration. That's why I always recommend starting the process as soon as possible. First, coordinate with your attorney. Your attorney will have specific guidance on how to handle the appraisal process and will communicate directly with the probate referee or the appraiser. Second, don't remove personal property right away. The probate referee may assign a nominal value to the personal property in the home, like the furniture or any collectibles, and removing items before the appraisal could inadvertently affect this valuation. Always check with your attorney before taking anything out of the house. And next, document the property's condition. If there are significant issues with the property, such as damage or disrepair, take photos and keep detailed notes, because this documentation can be helpful if you need to request a reassessment. And fourth, working with a knowledgeable real estate professional. If you're planning to sell the property, make sure your real estate agent understands the probate process and can coordinate with the attorney and the appraiser. And this will help make sure that everything goes smoothly and meets any legal requirements. I worked with a family not too long ago who inherited a home that had been appraised by a probate referee, and the exterior of the home looked fine, but when we went inside, there were major issues. The roof was leaking in several places. The floors were warped because of the roof leaks, and they were stained, and there was just years and years of damage inside of the home. We documented everything with photos, and we worked with a probate referee to reassess the value. And this updated valuation allowed us to set a realistic sales price and to ultimately sell the property for a fair amount. Without having that reassessment, that family might have faced unnecessary challenges during the sale. A date of death appraisal is a critical step in the probate and trust administration process. It provides clarity for heirs, it ensures compliance with legal and tax requirements, and it helps set the stage for a smooth sale of the property. And yes, it feels like just one more task during an already overwhelming time. Having that official valuation is invaluable, protecting the estate and the beneficiaries. If you have any questions about date of death appraisals or the probate process, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I do my best to answer all of the questions. And remember to download a guide to probate real estate. We are your resource for everything probate related. See you in the next video.